Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, uncertainty looms as the Taal Volcano activity remains unpredictable.
Umaakyat yung volume ng magma na pwede pang mag-supply doon sa eruption ng Taal.
State seismologists warn that anything can happen as alert level 4 is still up.
Hindi po porque humina ng kaunti ang surface activity sa main crater, ay ibig sabihin ay naibsan po ang panganiban. Lalo na po ngayon na meron na tayong fissuring.
Thousands evacuate to safer grounds, but some residents want to come back home.
Mapigilan dahil tumatakas.
Are we ready for Taal Volcano's imminent hazardous explosive eruption? A lawmaker wants to find out. Cavite Representative Elpidio Barzaga and MMDA focal person for disaster risk reduction and management, Michael Salalima, join us live. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, appealed to residents living in the danger zone that they should stay in evacuation sites until government authorities give them the go signal to return home. Despite a noticeable slowdown in Taal Volcano's activity on Tuesday, PHIVOLCS says that this should not be taken as a sign of lesser danger. A number of residents risking their safety in Volcano Island to save their animals. What they found was a no man's land. Carolyn Bonkin tells us in this report.
Despite the danger of a volcano erupting at any time, a Talisay, Batangas resident dared to go back to the Taal Volcano Island on Tuesday. A sad sight welcomed him. All trees are dead and their house is already destroyed. Roofs and walls collapsed when heavy ashes fell on Sunday. Walking even further, he found at least 3 horses covered in ash standing still. A yellow fluid was coming out of one of the horses' nose. He and his brother walked even further and saw more destroyed houses and dead horses. More Balete and Talisay, Batangas residents as well as government organizations and volunteers have gone back to the island to recover what's left on Tuesday. One by one, they came back riding boats filled with furnitures and animals. Like pigs, cows, and horses, all are weary and hungry. This is Patricia, one of the horses rescued from Barangay Bignay. Like most of the animals that survived the ash fall, Patricia has lost weight after being left in the island for 2 days. They were bathed and led to grassy areas. Those who look after the animals hope they'll recover.
Wala na makain doon, kaya natabunan ng gabok. Ang mga puno, tsaka mga damo.
Ang akin hong namatay na 2 baka ho, 1 kalabaw, 2 kabayo, at 2 baboy.
Governor Dodo Mandanas said officials have been asking them to leave and even gave them houses, but many didn't listen.
Siyempre kaya po kami na doon po kami nabubuhay, at doon po kami nakuha ng pagkain.
Many residents in inland barangays of Balete also refused to stay in evacuation centers. At the roadside, we saw many people sweeping roofs and road, roaming around as if they're not walking in a danger zone.
Hindi po talaga mapigilan dahil tumatakas.
Caroline Bonkin, CNN Philippines, Batangas.
PHIVOLCS has been urging the total evacuation of residents and business owners who are within the 17-kilometer radius around Taal Volcano. There are 2 so-called zones of concern or danger zones. Let's show this map. The first is the 14-kilometer radius around the volcano. An estimated 450,000 people live there. You can see some of the towns within that area. And just to name a few, you have San Nicolas, Tagaytay City, Talisay, Tanawan, Balete, and Taal. And there is the wider 17-kilometer danger zone of concern. That has a population of more than 900,000 people. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Metro Manila Development Authority focal person for disaster risk reduction and management, Michael Salalima. Mike, good to have you again.
Yes,
Welcome to the show.
Good morning again, Ms. Pinky.
Where have you been so far?
Well, we've been to Batangas immediately on last Monday, when the explosion occurred last Sunday po. The provincial government of Batangas already made the request for the deployment of the MMDA contingent. But we were able to deploy our people early morning of Monday, and we went directly to the request of Vice Governor Liviste, which is to directly access the towns of Talisay, Laurel, and Agoncillo, wherein forced and, of course, mass evacuation have been ordered there. Then after that, we've gone to Santo Tomas, where the evac centers were set up, and Tanawan, for those people that we were able to get out from those three towns.
Talisay, Laurel, and Agoncillo. Ilan po yung nakuha niyong residents, more or less, from Talisay, Laurel, and Agoncillo?
We were not able to count it anymore because when we went there, understandably, overwhelmed po ang DRRM people doon, and confusion is everywhere. So what we did na lang po is to make them all ride with our 6x6 trucks. We have our military trucks with us, and even the fire trucks doubled up as our evac vehicles.
I see.
So,
Anong nakita ninyo? Takot? Was there a lot of fear?
well, of course, people were muddied up because, well, especially in Talisay, there were heavy ashfall and rain the night before. So talagang putikan ng ating mga kababayan. So, of course, the children, nakakaawa po because they were crying. And, of course, we would always get request that we access even to the smallest barangay or the farthest barangay just to get the people. Ang mahirap po kasi may mga lugar po tayo na hindi na kaya ng mga military trucks, so we have to go there by foot. And it's really an interagency collaboration. Nagtutulong-tulong na po ang mga tao doon.
What was the biggest challenge?
Well, for one, the biggest challenge there is, of course, makapal po ang putik at yung dust. Our people have to use their self-contained breathing apparatus sometimes. Yung
And you
mga
had
SCBAs.
those?
And we have those. Our chairman made sure that our people will have our own PPEs, our protective equipments. So GM Jojo Garcia as well made sure that we brought those last
Mga ilan
Monday.
kayo, Mike, na nagpunta?
Ma'am, our initial deployment was a 30-man contingent and composed of medical personnel and disaster and emergency experts natin. So yun po yung unang pinadala, but we did not bring in a lot of people because what's important is may space yung aming mga military trucks
To rescue the residents.
for the people to get in.
Help us understand a situation as what happened last Sunday. So, from Alert Level 1, which was declared March of 2019, almost a year ago, this was a progressive increase of alert level from 1 to 4 of Sunday. So, certainly, Mike, lahat ng tao ay magmamadaling umalis, especially in the island volcano. Naiwan nila, as what Carolyn showed us, yung mga hayop na nandun. Ano ho bang dapat iniisip talaga at ginagawa ng tao the moment merong panganib? Kasi meron hong naaawa tayo dahil sa naiwan yung mga kabayo talaga at iba pa mga hayop doon sa island volcano.
Well, as we have we have witnessed last Sunday, Metro Manila Development Authority, MMDA, is very much aware that naka-alert level 1 po ang ating Taal Volcano. But then things happened pretty fast last Sunday afternoon that in a span of 2 hours during the MMDA meeting that we called for last Monday, that was presided by GM Jojo, they showed us the time lapse and in a span of 2 hours, napakabilis po ng mga pangyayari. So there's from alert 1, then it became alert level 2, then alert level 3. So, and then the cameras that they showed us, the footages, and talaga namang overwhelming yung explosions na nangyari sa Taal Volcano. So much so that our people there are really, they won't have enough time to really leave, especially the people in the volcano, in the island volcano.
Island volcano,
and the nearby surrounding areas, because for one, yung mobility naman, hindi naman lahat may sasakyan. Ano? And
to leave.
And to leave,
kailangan mo ng
kailangan
bangka.
mo ng bangka if you're in the island volcano. No? So, yun po ang naging challenge doon. And of course, primarily and primordial to our reaction is we save ourselves. No?
Yes.
So, yun po yung inuna na rin ng mga responders during Monday.
Yeah.
No? And then now we are seeing po yung mga animals.
Binabalikan. Ngayon, binabalikan sila.
Our MMDA K9 Volunteer Corps has asked permission from us to go back and save initially mga dogs for our K9.
And you did.
And we did, but we cannot turn our backs also with the horses, the pigs, and the other animals that they saw there. So it's really hard to
It's hard, it's
understand.
heartbreaking.
Yeah, heartbreaking, and it's really something that we have wished that we had enough time to evacuate everyone.
We wish there was enough time, but as you said, Mike, it was a fast
Things
progression
happened
from alert level 1 to
pretty
4.
fast.
And in a situation like this, obviously, ang unahin mo talaga ay ang sarili mo at pamilya mo.
Sarili and pamilya.
And really, just to put, put things in perspective, it's called an island volcano. Ibig sabihin, kung nasaan ang Taal, island volcano, may nakatira doon. Para makaalis doon sa island volcano na yon, kailangan mong sumakay ng bangka para makapunta sa ibang to land, basically to go back to land. What are the next plans of the MMDA from here on?
Well,
because ang dami ding bumabalik eh. Can you blame them na bumabalik sila, tinitingnan? Although sinasabi nga ng FIVOX, huwag kayong magbakasakali dahil purkit hindi dahil reduced activity ay ibig sabihin hindi na ito mapanganib.
That's true, Ms. Pinky. In the command conference that was called last Monday evening in Fernando Air Base, they have already set up the regional incident command post. They have mentioned about the people going back to the island volcano and even to the nearby 14-kilometer danger zone, the likes of Talisay and But it has been decided that as much as possible, the security people, PNP personnel won't be allowing them. What's next for us here in Metro Manila? We are in constant coordination with the regional incident command post. We're asking ma'am their priority needs.
Yes.
And that's what GM Jojo Garcia and Chairman
And what
Lim.
are the needs, priority needs?
Priority needs right now, ma'am, are water, short-term food, beddings, mga pangsapin po pag natutulog, And ito na po yung kino-communicate natin with the 17 LGUs of Metro Manila. Yesterday po, Quezon City went there already. Parañaque have already sent theirs. And some more of our cities are going there. But we just wanted to zero in po ano po yung kailangan nila at yun po ang ibibigay ng Metro Manila as our assistance.
We'd like to thank you, Mike Salalima, for joining us here on the show.
Thank
and
you
take
very
care,
much.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Coming up, a lawmaker wants a House inquiry on the government's response to Taal Volcano eruption. Cavite Representative Elpidio Barzaga will be joining us after the break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. A lawmaker is seeking a probe on the supposed lack of alerts on Taal Volcano eruption. He also wants to look into residents still living in permanent danger zones and the surge in N95 mask prices amid the Taal Volcano crisis. Let's go straight to the source of the story. We have Cavite Representative Elpidio Barzaga. Congressman, welcome to the show.
Thank you and
Thank
good
you for
morning.
being here. All right, you filed a House resolution looking into, well, a number of things. Let's start with that, sir. Ang sinasabi niyong lack of information or alerts to the public.
Yes, we have seen that as early as March 2019, there was already a bulletin coming from PhilBox that insofar as Taal Volcano is concerned, it was already level 1 alert. And we reviewed the bulletin of Taal Volcano, of the pillbox, and the last bulletin prior to the January 12 was on December 3, 2019, or around 40 days before the volcanic eruptions. And they said in their bulletin on December 3 that there were already 23 volcanic earthquakes in Taal Volcano, and there was an increase in the temperature of the water. 31.5 Celsius to I think 31.6 Celsius.
Can you repeat that, sir? 31.5 to 31.6?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, that's a little bit abnormal insofar as the water is concerned. But in spite of that, we did not receive any warning from the pillbox that the 17 kilometers radius from Taal Volcano would be considered as a danger zone. And therefore, we are requiring all the LGUs or government agencies to conduct a forced evacuation among the people there. We have experienced that on January 12, it was a Sunday, as early as 11 a.m., there was already smoke emitting from the Taal Volcano. There were also volcanic tremors. And in spite of that, we did not have any warning insofar as the public is concerned. Umalis na kayo riyan. There's a possibility that there would be a massive outfall. Because of the massive outfall, there might be zero visibility in the street in those areas, and therefore, as much as possible, avoid travel.
So,
there is also possibility that there might be a brownout.
Congressman, nagkulang ho saan sa text alert at sa announcement ho ba sa media?
Of course, we have to say that we have the experience insofar as Mount Pinatubo is concerned. And the head of the pillbox at the time, Rolando Punong Bayan, rose to national prominence because of his expert prediction insofar as Pinatubo is concerned. So we have President.
I want to go back to what you said, Congressman, that there was the last advisory was December 3, and that it was still alert level 1, but there were 23 volcanic earthquakes, sir. Ano ho ba ang mandato ng FIVOX with in terms of advisories sa mga bulkan, such as Taal? Every month ho ba dapat meron?
Well, it depends upon the circumstances.
Yeah.
Insofar as the necessity is concerned. And we have also experienced in the past the effects of volcanic eruptions.
Yeah, but it's been on alert level 1 for 10 months, sir. What were you expecting? That's what I want to find out. Ano ho ba ang responsibilidad ng FIVOX to send out advisories every month? Is that so, sir?
Well,
Or
it
you
depends
don't know?
upon the circumstances.
Yeah.
December 3, ang kanilang last bulletin.
Opo.
Sinabi na nila, umiinit na. Sinabi nila that there were already 23 recorded volcanic earthquake.
Yeah.
And therefore, they should inform the public. Not to mention that it was also Pillbox who declared that the Taal Volcano Island is considered as a permanent dangerous area.
So what what you want to find out, sir, is excuse me, is it being a very active volcano, the second most active volcano.
Yes.
There should be, are you saying, consistent advisories coming from the FIVOX, sir?
Well, definitely. Insofar as the public can take the necessary...
And what is consistent for you? Would that be every month?
Well, it depends upon the circumstances because they are the one who has been given by the government the mandate.
Okay.
Mount Pinatubo was inactive for 600 years.
Yeah.
And yet, Pillbox was able to predict its eruption.
Yung sinasabi po nila, Congressman, about Taal Volcano is that it was on alert level 1 of March 2019. Marami hong tanong din dyan. I'll get to that later. Pero dahil March 2019 nag-alert level 1, yung pagtaas daw po ng alert level 1 to alert level 4 within hours, which was nung Sunday po, ang tinawag ho ata dito ni Director Solidum is a rapid escalation.
Yes. But we anticipate that if there would be a rapid escalation, these are the things which we have to do. There must be evacuation center, there must be vehicles, there must be food, and including shelter for animals. Unfortunately, we were caught unaware.
Because of the rapid escalation.
No, the escalation started as early as 11 a.m. The asphalt became only very apparent at around 5 to 6 p.m. And there was no advisory.
Would you say, Congressman, you are quite unhappy with how the evacuation proceeded?
Definitely. Because even in Cavite, although we are not part of Batangas, we have evacuation centers in the towns of Alfonso, Mendez, and even Tagaytay City.
Okay, all right. We'll be taking a short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, Cavite Representative Elpidio Barzaga. So, Congressman, sinasabi niyo, you're quite unhappy with how the evacuation proceeded. Ano
Yes.
po? What do you want to find out in the hearing?
Well, number one, the spillbook have the necessary manpower together with the sophisticated equipment. Because we have learned our lessons in the past. Dati-dati, bumabagyo, sasabihin ng Pag-asa, we don't have the equipment. That was the reason in the typhoons named Milenio and Ondoy. So what Congress did was to conduct an investigation and purchase the necessary equipment. Prior to the purchase, ang tinitingnan na lang natin yung CNN International, their weather update. Pupunta sa Japan, pupunta sa Pacific, then to the Philippines. So insofar as Philbox is concerned, do they have the manpower?
Yeah.
Do they have the sophisticated equipment?
Yeah.
What are the things lacking?
And it's really about time to look into that, Congressman?
Definitely.
Apo.
Because we have seen the damage.
But do you know how much budget is being given to the FIVOC, sir?
Well, Philbox should be the one who should take the initiative. O Kongreso, ito kinakailangang pondo namin para naman kung sakaling magkaroon ng volcanic eruption at maraming pamatay, you cannot blame us.
Apo. Some netizens, Congressman, are reacting on your proposed investigation. From Twitter, Ralph says, I'm strongly against the call for an investigation na sinusulong ng Congress against FIVOX. Kasagsagan ng eruption, i-distract nyo sila. We're facing an imminent explosive eruption and the least we can do is to support them and follow what they're saying. Congressman, can you react to that?
Well,
patatawag niyo ho ang FIVOX kung
well, it
ng
depends upon the House when they will schedule the hearing. Hindi naman imminent to eh. Di ba?
Ang imminent yung eruption, sir.
Ang imminent would be the eruption. At nakita naman natin, it's not a political grandstanding. I'm not running for a national office. I have been in public office and a selected official for the last 22 years. Ang concern ko lamang, I came from the province of Cavite and our people would be affected.
Wouldn't it also be prudent, though, Congressman, that you or some of our lawmakers on their own take the initiative to look really into the budget of the FIVOX? Pwede rin naman ho yun?
Pwede rin naman yun.
Okay. All right. From Kuyan Yan, it says political grandstanding. It wouldn't take their staff 5 minutes to research and come to the conclusion that no one can predict when a volcano will erupt. Imbisigahan nila bakit ang liit ng pondo para sa DOST at bakit binabawasan annually ang calamity fund, sir?
Well, personally, we have that experience in Pinatubo. And Rolando Punong Bayan, as the records will show, was able to predict accurately the eruption of Mount Pinatubo, saving human lives way back in 1992. And Pinatubo at that time was inactive based on the record for a period of 600 years. And in spite of the fact that it was inactive for 600 years, Philbox was able to predict through Punong Bayan the date of the eruption.
Is this something you need to understand better, sir? And another thing is, are you blaming the FIVOX for the lack of information that was disseminated due to the Taal Volcano eruption?
Yes.
You are?
You are, because there was the information, it was not magnified in the media, and even us congressmen are not aware. Hindi naman sinabi ng Philbox during the budget deliberation, oh, Mr. Congressman, Mr. Senators, our budget is this. We don't have the sophisticated equipment. Do not blame us. So the initiative should always start from the office which needed the equipment and the manpower.
But I can't imagine, sir, that FIVOX will not even say that, or the DOST, na hindi nila sasabihin na kulang ang kanilang equipment. Hindi ho ba we can be under the assumption na kulang talagang equipment nila, gaya ng, let's say, Pag-asa in the past.
Then it will be the job of PhilBox and DOST to make the proper representations.
Okay. All right. So there's still no word on when the hearing will actually happen. Congress will resume session sa Monday po, no?
Yes.
Congressman. Okay, so we'll see what happens, anong mangyari dito sa hearing, and other factors that Congressman Barzaga wants to look into. For example, the spike doon po sa presyo ng mga masks na N95
Of course, we
and so on and so
anticipate
forth.
that if there will be volcanic eruption, assets might fall, and the public must be ready to have en masse
Opo.
for the purpose of protecting their health.
And I'm interested, sir, to find out really what will happen sa hearing on the permanent danger zones. Maraming salamat, sir. We've run out of time. Kay Cavite Representative Elpidio Barzaga. Thank you, sir. And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.